Trails lead people from one place to another. We generally think of them as physical routes, worn into the ground by the footsteps of travelers. But a trail can also be defined in a broader sense, as a path through life's circumstances. Along the journey, crossroads are often faced, at which important decisions must be made. Sometimes, factors beyond the wayfarer's control become driving forces, which constrain the way forward. And some trails involve tears. In our 2022 video series, we looked at the 1832 cultural landscape of Wisconsin by traveling to the sites of Ho-Chunk communities listed on that year's census, which was penned by Indian agent John H. Kinsey. That snapshot of the Ho-Chunk homeland came on the brink of a massive upheaval. Within a year, 3 out of every 4 people listed on that Ho-Chunk census would be driven from their homes and across the Wisconsin River under threat of military force. By 1840, the U.S. government proclaimed that not one of these communities remained, that the Ho-Chunk footprint had been scoured from the landscape. At this juncture of crisis, Ho-Chunk families faced difficult choices. Each family needed to determine how to live in an era of forced expulsion, which in hindsight we now know would last 4 long decades. A substantial proportion of these families would make the decision to remain in or return to Wisconsin, to navigate these decades of trauma in the land of their ancestors despite the risks. A new exhibit at the historic Indian Agency House, slated to open in the spring of 2024, will explore the experiences of these families. But the trail for thousands more Ho-Chunks extended far beyond the borders of Wisconsin. Their route through this Trail of Tears era was marked by a succession of treaty-mandated reservations, where they were forced to relocate, adapt, and carry on their lives. It was a course punctuated by intense and recurrent suffering, as removals to new locations came at intervals determined by a westward expanding United States seeking new land to colonize. In this year's video series, we again go on location, this time to trace this treaty-structured trail to places hundreds of miles from the Indian Agency House at Fort Winnebago. We seek to define the path which connects the past to the present, to retrace the steps of this tearful trail in order to understand and learn from the past. Today, many Ho-Chunk families still reside in these locations, 191 years after their ancestors embarked on this forced journey. May we remember and reflect on their continuing story as we go on location.